Please help to me reach 1,000 subscribers. She didn't realize I already knew. That was the strangest part of all. Every morning, sitting across from her at the breakfast table, watching her swipe through her phone with that polished, innocent smile. God, I memorized that smile. It was the same one she showed me when we first started dating. The same one she used whenever she wanted to hide something. And for 3 long weeks, I carried the truth quietly, like a heavy stone sitting inside my ribs. I knew everything. Her lover's name. The hotel they preferred. Even the perfume she suddenly adored because he liked it. It wasn't mine. I told her I never cared for floral scents the first time she tried it on. She just gave a tiny smile and said, "Give it time. It's growing on me." That should have been the first alarm bell, but I ignored it. She thought she was fooling me, thought I still believed those random late-night team meetings, and her sudden passion for 7:30 p.m. Pilates classes. But I had already seen the messages. I had already driven past the hotel and watched her walk inside with him, fingers interlocked, like the world couldn't touch them. I didn't stop them. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I observed. Really observed. How she paused before answering even simple questions. How she practically leapt for her phone when it vibrated. How she still kissed me goodnight with a guilty conscience dressed as affection. And I pretended. I helped her make dinner. I listened to her fabricated stories about work. I even planned a little weekend getaway for us. What she didn't know was that I had booked something else entirely. An appointment with a divorce lawyer. On the same day she claimed she had an off-site meeting, I was signing legal documents. She came home late that night. I was already in bed, breathing slowly, pretending to sleep. She slipped under the covers with this quiet sigh, one that sounded too much like victory, like she believed she'd fooled me again. She had no clue. The next morning I handed her coffee exactly the way she preferred it. Almond milk, 2 pumps of vanilla, 1 sugar. She walked into the kitchen wearing one of my shirts, acting as if our life was still intact. Maybe in her mind it was. Maybe she believed I would never see the truth. She was wrong. I waited until after breakfast. I didn't want yelling. I didn't want her theatrics. I didn't want another round of manipulation. I wanted clarity, mine not hers. She was rinsing her mug when I said, in the calmest voice I've ever used, "We need to finalize the divorce." She froze. Completely. Her hands stayed under the running water, motionless, like her entire body had turned into stone. When she finally turned around, her face was drained of all color. "What?" she whispered. Too soft. Too rehearsed. I repeated myself. "The divorce. I've already spoken to a lawyer. You'll get the paperwork this week." She blinked fast like she was trying to blink away reality. "Why are you saying that? Where is this coming from?" I didn't bother answering. Instead, I walked to the drawer, pulled out the folder, printed messages, hotel receipts, screenshots, and placed it on the table. She didn't look at it right away. She stared at me first, trying to read me, trying to figure out if she had a chance to twist things. Waiting for me to explode so she could cry, blame me, and rewrite the narrative into something that made her the victim. I gave her nothing. When she finally opened the folder, the color left her face entirely. The texts where she told him I was dull. The ones where she bragged that I would never leave even if he found out. That one hit deep. Her lips moved before her voice did. "I can explain," she whispered. "No," I said quietly. "You really can't. And you don't need to." That was the moment she crumbled. All the confidence, all the arrogance, all the entitlement, gone. She turned into someone I didn't recognize, someone small and terrified. She begged. She cried. She tried to promise it meant nothing, that she would end it, that she didn't mean any of the things she wrote. But cheating isn't a mistake. It's a decision. A series of selfish decisions. I told her I'd be moving out by the weekend. That the house would go up for sale. Everything else would go through the lawyers. I wasn't angry anymore. I was finished. And that's what broke her, the fact that she no longer had control. Not the divorce. Not the evidence. Not the consequences. It was my calm that terrified her. I left her there on the kitchen floor, crying into her hands. And when I walked out with nothing except my keys and whatever was left of my dignity, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Relief. Pure, steady relief. Please help to me reach 1,000 subscribers.